Our regular 6 o'clock meeting for Tuesday, August 14th, 2012 is called to order. And we have the invocation given by Commissioner Holberg. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Maxmore.
Please rise. Let us pray. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessings and your guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
May I move to amend the agenda?
Yes.
I move that we amend the agenda by adding item number 20. Quote, consider intergovernmental agreement between the City of Griffin and Spalding County for issuance of tax allocation bonds, Series 2012, Kroger bonds, in the amount of $866,397, unquote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include that item. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0.
Let me point out also, we're going to ask you to hold item 19 tonight until the meeting on the 28th.
Okay, do we need to table it or just?
Well, when you come to it, you can just table it.
Okay, all right. All right, we'll move into presentation and delegations. Recognize Mayor Matthews with the Customer Service Department as July 2012 Strongest Link Award recipient.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have a great pleasure tonight to recognize Mary Matthews. If anybody comes into customer service, you cannot go in without seeing Mary's face and smiling face. She greets you. She epitomizes what we try to teach and what we try to live by in customer service. I come up with crazy ideas, and Mary will look at me and go like, really? And she also will put together what we call the Bible. It is a book that we live by, and it took hours and hours, and I'm going to turn it over to Rita and let some words from her co-workers, from Rita and her co-workers, and it really will truly tell you what kind of person Mary is. Rita?
Since I hacked up the last time I came to the podium, I'm going to stick with reading my nomination. I nominated Mary Matthews for July 2012 Strongest Link in the Chain. Ms. Matthews is the receptionist for the City of Griffin. Her desk is positioned at the front door in customer service. She's the first face that our citizens and customers see. They are acknowledged as soon as they enter our building with her smile and greeting. We've been encouraged by Laura Stewart and Bill Bosch to exemplify this same act called Meet and Greet. She set the standard in our department for this. She's full of knowledge to share concerning all departments within the City of Griffin as well as Spalding County. She assists customers needing customer service as well as citizens and customers needing assistance within our departments such as solid waste, water department, planning and zoning, and I'm starting to get nervous again. But also for you guys, when you need something, you get Mary. If you can't get anyone else and you need to know where Mr. Smith is, you get Mary. I was amused the other day when I was passing by our desk and a caller called in. The caller wanted to know the AMC movie theater phone number. Mary smiled, flipped in her book, and said, no problem, I have the number right here. And in that book, she had Louise's and she had Anderson's, or any business in Griffin, she had the number. And that's in that book that Bill referred as our Bible. She took all of that knowledge and so generously gave each one of us a copy of that, as well as each other departments. Mine is wore out. My book is wore out, and she did that for us. Recently, she has voluntarily asked to be trained in Cogsdale so she can assist customers with billing questions. She thought outside of the box. she realized there may be some things that they don't need a customer service rep. And she thought of that on herself because she's so willing and eager to help people. She's an extremely hard worker. She's an ideal representative as the first person citizens and customers see when they enter our building. This nomination may be for me as a customer service employee for a customer service employee. But we all at the City of Griffin need to recognize the outstanding job Mary Matthews performs, and we need to show her our appreciation for all of her hard work.
Mary started with us in 2003, and we hope to have her for many, many years to come, and for the July Strongest Link in the Chain Award. Thank you very much. And you get the chain behind you.
Gonna chain you to the desk, Mary. Oh. I really don't know who Rita was talking about. Must have been my twin. But I really would like to say thank you all. Thank you, Rita, for nominating me. And it's a pleasure and an honor to receive this. And I will try to do my very best in the future to come. Thank you.
Get on your knees.
Recognize Fire Chief Tommy Jones and Water Supervisor Terry Parker for 25 years of service to the City of Griffin. Chief Strickland will address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tommy's been here since he was 15 or 16, I guess. Tommy's worked the last 25 years at the Griffin Fire Department. He spent most of his time in fire prevention and fire marshal, and he's cross-trained as a firefighter and a police officer. And did a lot of arson investigating, worked very closely with the police department over the years. He's done an outstanding job, and I don't know how he pulled this off, but he got in Georgia Trend as one of the best 10 places to work in the state of Georgia. And he got us to a Class 2 fire rating, and we have made, I would say, gigantic strides in the fire department while he's been the fire chief over the last 8 years in equipment, people, training, and he's done an outstanding job. So with that, thank you for your 25 years, Tom.
Yes, sir, appreciate it. Thank you.
I know it.
Good evening, friends. It's been a lot of fun. I'm so pleased to have my mom and dad here tonight, Peggy and Eddie Jones, and my wife, Kristen, my daughter, Reagan, and our son, Max, and our oldest son, Grayson, is in bed sick tonight, so he couldn't be here with us. But it's been a lot of fun, and the guys make me look really good every day. They work hard, and they deliver a great product. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Check it out.
Terry's been with the city for 25 years, and we don't get to fight fires, we don't get to go out and make drug busts, and we don't get to have all the glory. But what I can tell you about Terry is I got called back from Asheville, Tennessee about 8 years ago, I guess it was, and we had the first main break of a raw water line ever in the history of the city, and I had to deal with that issue, and the first person in the hole was Terry. I've been out when we had a break over here in front of Liberty, and the First person in the hole, 16 degrees, water everywhere. Terry's the first person in the hole with a shovel, with a backhoe, you name it. We had another main break on a second rupture of a raw water line about 3 years ago, I guess it was, maybe 4 now. And guess who was the first person in the hole? Was Terry. I just go on and on about it, but at the end of the day, the idea of customer service and making sure that everybody, when they turn the water on, has the water. You don't get a lot of accolades. We don't give out badges of honor, no ribbons to put on our chest. But, you know, we do get paid at the end of the day. But it's really good to be at a point where somebody's worked for the city for 25 years. Doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, but I can promise you he's had more ice on his beard. He's busted his hands more often than you ever want to know when it's cold. And when it's hot, he's out there doing what he's got to do. So after 25 years of working with the city, I can tell you that I'm proud of him because he's been able to endure me for at least 12, right? And his wife's sitting here, and just want to say to her, I know that we call him out at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning, at 10 o'clock at night. And if you ever want to say anything before you retire, there's your shot right now.
You know, I just appreciate all y'all, you know, and appreciate where I work at, you know, because I'm here every day, and I'm getting paid, you know, for doing the work, and I'm glad I got a job. That's the bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys just push your nose, dude. There you go, no backwards or not.
We would like to recognize a proclamation declaring August 15th as Southside Writers Association Day in the city of Griffin.
We're going to get her some leathers.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
And I'm proud to be able to do this. I know many members of the Southside Writers, and I know all of the good work that you do. You gave me the honor of being at one of your Christmas parties when you were packing toys and everything, and I can remember crawling in that Van Dyke building and being right there with you, being fed well and being treated more honorably than I deserve. So I am highly pleased to be able to read this to you tonight. A proclamation in recognition of Southside Writers Association. Whereas the Southside Writers Association is a non-profit charity center for motorcycle enthusiasts who have organized for the purpose of improving the image of motorcyclists in our community. Through fellowship, brotherhood, and involvement, they unite with a common goal to improve themselves and the children of the state of Georgia. Whereas the Southside Writers Association was formed in Griffin on August 15th of 1998. They are dedicated to the support of local children's charities as well as other worthy causes within our city. They are a member of the City of Griffin Chamber of Commerce and during their history with the Chamber and have been recognized as the Outstanding Organization of the Year. The Southside Writers Association is an active participant in honoring and respecting our local military fallen and law enforcement by being active members of the Patriot Guard as well as many other civic-minded groups. Whereas the Southside Writers Association has made contributions of goods, services, and funds in excess of $400,000 since 1998 to benefit the children of Griffin. This was accomplished through their involvement with the Department of Family and Children's Services, Foster Parents Association, the Ronald McDonald House Charity, TAB Campaign, the Salvation Army, Angel Tree, and their annual Christmas party for local foster children. Whereas the Southside Writers Association has become synonymous with pride, dignity, and respect, as well being of service to the community. Therefore, we, the Commissioners of the City of Griffin of the State of Georgia, do hereby proclaim August the 15th, 2012, as Southside Writers Association Day in the City of Griffin, and encourage all citizens to recognize and assist them in their efforts to make the City of Griffin and Spalding County a better place for our children. In witness whereof, I have herewith set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Griffin to be affixed this 14th day of August, 2012. Cynthia Regal, Chairperson, City of Griffin Commission, and attested to by Kenny Smith, our City Manager. It's an honor that we do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, and the people that we really like to see around, members of the media, today is a proud and honorable day for motorcyclists in Georgia. The Southside Riders Association is but just a name. It's a name that represents the finest people in Georgia. The motorcyclists in Griffin have found a place that they can make a difference, and they do it every day. We work, live, and ride here. I would like to thank the City of Griffin, the state and local governments for their support and encouragement. There are currently 190,000 registered motorcyclists in Georgia. The motorcycle community is a very dedicated and very giving group of people. Each and every weekend there are numerous fundraisers for everything from autism to cancer to diabetes to the Ronald McDonald House to Wounded Warriors to needy children to providing Christmas joy to the families of fallen soldiers and fallen officers. The Southside Riders and many others have made it their role in the community to find ways to be of service. I think it is safe to say that the motorcyclists in Georgia believe that making the way better for others makes the way better for ourselves. The strength of the SRA is also in the support of local businesses and the community. Companies like Bandag, Chick-fil-A, and many others are supporters of the same mission and vision as the Southside Riders. Today we are capable of reaching out farther into the community. We give not because we have many, we give because we fully understand having nothing. That is where the heart meets the highway. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Next, we would like to recognize awards for comprehensive annual financial report and popular annual financial report.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Good evening.
Are you having to give that to yourself tonight, Martha?
No, this is for you.
Okay.
For the board and the leadership of the city. And basically it's in recognition of the outstanding achievement in popular reporting for the simple report that goes out to the public, which we have posted on our website, as well as for the comprehensive annual financial report from the auditors and for the year-end audit. So this is a statement that speaks loudly to the integrity and the quality of the financial reporting that comes from the team. So, on behalf of the city, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I say this every year, but I think it bears repeating. As commissioners, we have no higher duty than to faithfully account for every penny of taxpayer money that comes and goes. And these awards for excellence in financial reporting attest to the fact that our team is doing that, and I think the citizens need to understand that. So thank you and your team for what you're doing.
Thank you.
How many years is this, Marcus?
This will be the 8th year for the comprehensive annual report and 6th year for the PAFR, the popular report.
Okay, next we'll review financials for June 2012.
This thing's just like all over the place. First item up is the cash balance report. And if you notice that there's a little bit of extra cash sitting there for now, it's not really extra cash. We do have around $4 million worth of projects that have been either started or postponed because we wouldn't be able to complete them. So they're being rolled over. So that money that's here is technically not there. It's already reserved and spoken for. So don't make any plans for that money. It's taken care of. Trust me.
But the good news is there's more than there was for cash.
Yes, sir. Are there any questions regarding the cash report? Hearing none, we'll move over to the second page, which is the local option sales tax and the special purpose local option sales tax. These numbers that we're reporting here are, for the most part, semi-final. They're still in draft. We are posting final audit entries, and we're in the process of wrapping up the year. as with grants and federal awards, we do have 60 days to close out or gather that information and close out those records. So they'll be closed out by the end of August.
I think the encouraging thing is Lost is up the second year, so from the bottom, we've stepped up 2 years in a row, slightly more, so I think we've seen the worst.
Yes, sir. And I tend to concur with that. Any other questions on Lost or Splost? Hearing none, we'll move into the interim statements. And the first page there basically summarizes the revenues in total for the city. And preliminary numbers show that we're a little off on the numbers, not too much, but I'd say we're close. Total operating revenues we're at 100%. We had some hits and some misses, but overall they seem to have come in on target. And operating expenses, while they're at 93% of budget, again at $86.3 million, of that $92.3 million budget, $4 million of it is going to be rolled over. So that'll put the 93% to about 97%.
But still, that shows expenses, even including that, $2 million less than forecast, which means tight control.
Yes, sir.
It means our city manager is on top of all of it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Give credit where credit's due, right?
Amen.
And on another positive note, if we look at interest income based on the strategies that have been deployed with the management by our investment broker, Sean Kane, we've been able to achieve some better results on the interest and the earnings within the portfolio. Any other questions?
That was a great year-end report, and again, the numbers in the budget were very close, which is a testament to a good job of budgeting and managing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next we'll move into our citizen comments. At this time, the chairperson will open the floor for comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item, not listed on the agenda for a public hearing, or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for a resolution. Is there anyone to my left that would like to come forward and address the board? Please give us your name and address for the minute.
My name is Danny Surrey, Senior. Live in Jonesboro, Georgia. Member of Griffin Lodge 317 here in Griffin. Good evening, Madam Chairman. And to the council members, it's a pleasure to see you again. Last we saw each other was 2005 at Spalding High School when we hosted our district session. But we do want to let you know that our lodge is constantly and currently doing things in the neighborhood to help make Griffin better, and especially for those children that may not that come from homes that may not have financial needs for. And also, as recently as today, I received I received notice that we have been authorized to start one of the shrine temples to come here on behalf of Prince Hall Masonry. And it will be operating here as well. And one of its main objectives is the diabetes initiative. And some of the other things as far as the, for the students, the ID program, the mentoring programs, and things of that nature. And we're here to ask for the city's support. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The prospectus that we have put in is very self-explanatory as far as for us not to go over it. But if there's any questions you may have for us at this time.
I would just like to say that I have had the pleasure of working with this lodge and working with you, and they've been very helpful and very cooperative financially and in every other way, and I really appreciate you all for working with me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Is there anyone else on the left that would like to come forward and address the board? Okay, is there anyone on the right that would like to come forward and address the board? Thank you. No public hearings. We'll move to our consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I guess we'll have to take these separate, but I move that we approve the minutes of the workshop on July 24th as presented, unless there's a correction.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the workshop for July 24th. If there's no further discussion, all in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0-1.
And then I move that we approve the minutes of the regular scheduled meeting of July 24th.
Second motion.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes for July 24th, 2012. All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Okay, next we're moving to our regular agenda. Consider a resolution to transfer financial assets in the amount of $5 million to Morgan Stanley Smith Barney to be managed by Sean Kane for the MEAC Municipal Competitive Trust Short-Term Portfolio Flexible Operating Account.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the resolution, and I have a comment.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve.
If looking at the return on investment, the interest and income, that managed by Mr. Kane has been much better than that sitting in the bank. So this is a good move, make us some money.
Thank you, and thank y'all for 10 years of business too.
Thanks, Sean.
Any further comment? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0.
Thank y'all.
Consider documents from Raymond Jones, Morgan Keegan regarding combined public utility revenue refunding and improvement bonds, Series 2012.
Madam Chair, I understand this is to start the consideration of refunding and save us some money. And I move that we approve these documents as presented.
There's actually two documents here, two letters you need to approve, and we'll acknowledge those so we can continue our work with our bond underwriter. This is a new federal requirement, the same disclosures we've had made for several years, but the law now requires them to be made to us in writing.
Second that with a question, please. This $58,330, is that the current debt?
That's the...
I'm sorry, $58,330,000.
The refunding of the 2002 bonds.
That was the total amount. So the amount that would be considered would be the balance of those bonds plus any future projects that we'd have to...
That's correct.
That we want to add on as well.
And I understand there's a potential saving up to $350,000 a year in interest. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, well worth looking at.
You said 2002 bond?
Yes.
Okay, motion and a second to approve. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider budget amendments by resolution for fiscal year 2011-12 and fiscal year 2012-13 in the amount of $4,010,500 for the rollover fiscal year 2012 projects that we will complete in fiscal year 2013.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the budget amendments, the rollovers as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider first reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin at Chapter 82, Taxation, Article 3, Excise Tax on Hotels.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve this, and I have a comment.
Second motion.
A motion and a second.
I had a question about this and wondered where all this came from, and I understand this is a model ordinance from GMA to help us bring our hotel motel tax up to a new standard, so I have that correct?
You had several meetings back, I guess a couple months back, you had started working with the GMA program.
Drew, I can hardly hear you, and I'm sure the audience doesn't hear you at all.
Is this any better? It may not be.
Yeah, much better.
Okay. You all had earlier contracted with GMA to provide services on collection of hotel motel tax, and they had recommended to us that we go with this newer model ordinance than the one that we had actually had on our books for several years.
Okay.
I think there was a second one there.
Yeah, motion and a second. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider first reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin at Chapter 44, Emergency Management, to authorize the City of Griffin to exercise emergency management powers within the city during declared state of emergency.
Madam Chair, I move we approve, and again, I have a comment here. Second.
I have a motion and a second.
When we discussed this originally and passed it, we didn't know that there was a new state law in effect that regulated local government's ability to manage firearms possession, ownership, and so on. So recently, a group brought it to our attention that the emergency management plan as sent down from GMA and GMA was in conflict with the new state law on firearm regulations. So this brings our emergency management plan into alignment with the new state law and takes away the city's ability to regulate possession, ownership, transport, carrying, transfer, sale, purchase of firearms. So we're now back in touch with the state law. And there's a couple of folks in the audience I know here to hear this, so word is out, I hope.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider first reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin, Chapter 44, Media Productions, to establish a permitting system and standards governing commercial media production within the city limits. Adam Collins will address.
While Adam's coming up, this was a topic at the GMA City Attorney section meeting back in June. The director of the state film office and an attorney who represents the state in these media productions spoke with us and gave out this ordinance as a sample ordinance for local governments.
Are these the trailers that are in the city parking lot?
Well, this would handle that. Just a little background. About a year and a half ago, I signed up as the camera ready coordinator for the community for the state's film office, since the new film tax credits have actually been kind of a boon to the entertainment industry here. And I guess I didn't really know what I was signing up for. So we've had a lot of interest. So we've had this TV crew in town the last 4 or 5 months, and it's great. We want them here, but our current ordinance really does not handle anything about that.
We really don't have a current ordinance.
Yeah, there is no current ordinance. We use the current outdoor event permit to handle that. That's a $25 permit, and it doesn't really cover the scope. And really, it's not so much for me. I'll still direct traffic when these things come in here, but it's really to help us get a handle on when other departments are called. The electric department has stepped up big time when these guys need control of the lights. Public Works has allowed them access to City Park and other city-owned property. And the police department has done a lot of work directing traffic when they need to do road scenes. And this is just one production over these last few months. And we really haven't gotten we've gotten zero permit fees from them, actually, other than the $25. We have gotten from this group about $12,000 directly to the city because they have leased city property. So that's been good. And that's completely separate from the local impact that they bring by spending money here and staying here and going out to eat and all that. But this ordinance directly puts a little bit more control on, it gives us a bit more power to say, please show us what you intend to do over a longer term if it's a high impact production like we have been dealing with, instead of every 2 days someone call and say, we need the street, for tomorrow, and that's really not realistic, and so this will help us drive the process a little bit more formally.
Did you answer my question? Are the trailers that are in the city parking lot part of the...
Oh, yes, and they have been leasing that city parking lot. And
you're leasing it? Okay, and so, and you're not having any problems with sanitation or anything like that?
No.
Okay, good. No, I think it's wonderful that they're here. I just had previously seen them there for a while, and I kept forgetting to ask Kenny, the background. I don't think there's anything there that says that what they are, that it's the company or the people who are working for Rectify.
It's interesting. I ate breakfast. I've worked with the location manager on this, some issues. He made the comment the other day. I asked him, how much money are you spending around town? And he said they're spending he personally, as location prop manager, he spends between $125,000 and $150,000 per episode, and they're doing 6 episodes. So that's astounding, the stuff they're buying and renting around town.
Yeah, it's a good investment. It's not a week that goes by that I don't get called by some location scout either for a movie or a TV show. We're not going to land every one of them. I'll try to direct them here as much as we can, but this has been good. It has only been 6 episodes. It feels like it's been a lot more. I know they were a bigger operation than I thought, but they're wrapping up this week, and it will air on the Sundance Channel in January. So if you don't have the Sundance Channel, then get it and then watch it, so that they'll do a second season and come back and spend more money next year.
Right, you're a younger Herman Parker. It's a shame you didn't have Herman. Herman used to do this.
Get him a gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Jerry Kurt's going to be speaking at Kiwanis Club.
Okay, good. Yeah,
location manager.
He's one that I've been working with.
So he's going to be giving an update of what they've spent, what they're doing, and so he wants to come to Kiwanis tomorrow.
Does this mean you'll be leaving us soon for a part on the big screen?
Oh, no.
He has a face for, we have a face for radio.
No, but they have used some fire department personnel in one scene, so you may see some people you recognize if you watch it.
Yeah, I got to appear with Burt Reynolds and Mary Tyler Moore, and that was a good experience when they filmed Miss Letty and me here. And then there was one other one. I just happened to be chairman that year that they filmed it, and so I didn't speak because I wasn't a member of the Screen Actors Guild. But when it came on television, I spoke, but it wasn't my voice. So it's amazing what you can do with film and audio.
I thought I'd be picked for Walking Dead, but didn't get it. Did you get it?
You talk too much.
Oh, yeah.
You walked right into that one.
Did you get a motion?
I don't think so.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve on first reading this ordinance of media productions.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, let me know by show of hands.
Thank you.
All right.
7-0.
I'm not saying anything else.
Consider revision of the utility incentive program requiring participants in the program to make on-time utility payments or be removed from the program.
Make a motion to approve.
Makes sense to me. I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider the purchase of a 250 96-gallon container for use in the solid waste division from Consolidated Disposal Systems at a cost of $86.18 each for a total of $21,545.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the purchase.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider awarding best bid to Golf Ventures Incorporated for a Riding Greens mower in the amount of $32,995.
I'm not going to make this motion, you know how I feel, but I had a serious question. I don't know if it's been answered, but there's quite a variety of bids on equipment, and this one was said to be the only one that met the specs, but I question that. So do we have a final answer, Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir. Dr. Keller
All right, we have the riding mower expert in front of us. Test that mic.
Been here for 21 years playing with mowers on the golf course. I'll explain to you. The new turf that we just put in is sensitive to hydraulic spills and oil. And that was one of the first considerations. So because usually what you do with the old-fashioned turf, you take Tide, you go out there, you put it on there, wash it off, and you ain't got a problem, and the greens will recuperate. This grass is sensitive to hydraulic spills. So when we met with the Champion Turf had advised us there's a new mower out in the marketplace. It's sustainable. It runs on battery and it has gas as a backup. There's no hydraulics. So at the end of the day, what's the other situation with this particular mower that's bid is there was a used mower bid on here that was the first generation electric mower. Well, this is the second generation electric mower under this particular company. It's the first sustainable mower that there is in the golf business. And what it also does is with this Champion Turf Bermuda that we have is that if you know anything about old type grass, the reels they cut it at a certain spin cycle. That spin cycle on this grass is not the most ideal situation. What the spin cycle does is when it gets slow, it drags across the greens and pulls the stolons out. And when we went with Championship Bermuda, the gentleman told us that we need a fast spin cycle. This particular unit spins 3 times faster than any other mower in the market right now. The other thing that you need to know by going to this sustainable mower, I guess if that's the buzzword you want to use, is that it operates about $1,700 a year more efficient than any other mower out there in the savings in fuel and in the savings of oil. We have no oil in this unit in response to the hydraulic fluid and the waste oil. So over the life cycle of the 5 years, and that's about what these cost, this unit will save the city approximately $9,900 compared to buying a traditional unit, which is, and I have a lot more facts and figures if y'all want it, but I hope that answers your question.
Second.
And I definitely, you seconded, that's good. Are we on, go ahead, I'm sorry, I've got a question. We had set a target date of the 18th of August, are we on?
Yes, ma'am, and while we're here, y'all are invited at 3 o'clock on Wednesday to get in a golf cart and personally visit. Friday. I'm sorry, what day is this? Tomorrow. Friday, thank you.
This coming Friday?
This coming Friday at 3 o'clock at the golf course to tour the greens and look at what they look like.
I have been touring the greens, usually in the early evening, and they look wonderful, but I noticed yesterday or today that you've got some sand. You've had to put more sand down.
That's part of the process, and we will be sanding through the heat wave in order to build up the roll. And if you want to hear about it, the roll's is at a 7 now, and it'll be at about a 10 come spring.
Right.
Which golfers
I think the golf
understand
course is beautiful. With all of the rain, even the fairways are looking good. So I'm very pleased so far with the development of it.
Thank you.
Well, I had the opportunity a week or so ago to visit at the University of Georgia campus, the turf grass field day. And I talked with some of I met some people there, and I talked with them, and they were very impressed with the turf over there.
We've tried. And hopefully it'll generate some revenue for the city to offset the expenses.
I'm just going to say that I'm going to vote against this. You know my feelings on operating the golf course at a loss, but it's not against the mower and the bid and all that. There's no problem there.
My feelings won't be hurt, Dick.
All right. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 6-1. Okay. Consider task order form in accordance with the master services agreement with Florence and Hutchinson Incorporated for inspection and condition assessment of roadway culvert in the amount of $12,800.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider a request from the University of Georgia College of Agriculture and Environmental Services for fiscal year annual support of the Griffin Campus Office of Continuing Education in the amount of $17,500.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor,
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Are we still getting courses and stuff offered our employees?
We still have the agreement, but we
not
really haven't used it
we have not
much
used it
lately.
for anything.
All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider approval of a local option sales tax certificate of distribution to the State Revenue Commission, allocating proceeds of the city, county, local sales and use tax to be distributed as following. Effective January 1st, 2013. City of Griffin shall receive 40.5%. County of Spalding shall receive 59.5%.
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve.
Second with question.
I have a motion and a second to approve.
First one, thank Joanne for your efforts on this. Good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, will we still negotiate House Bill 49, intergovernmental services or delivery strategy this year, next year, or when will that come up?
2014, I think I inquired.
2014, I believe, is when that's due for renegotiation.
We weren't getting anywhere,
Okay.
and that's the best time to do it.
Sounds good.
I too would like to congratulate our staff and the commissioners that did this and prevented a big, expensive brouhaha. This was done, I think, a very professional, comradely way. So thank you all.
Okay, all in favor, let me know by show of hands. Okay, well, the ones, all in favor, let me know by show of hands. 6-1. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we table item number 19 until the 29th, our meeting. 28th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table item number 19. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider approval to consider intergovernmental agreement between the City of Griffin, Spalding County for issuance of tax allocation bond, Series 2012 program bond in the amount of $8,066,000. Okay, $866,397.
That's a big number for us.
You missed the comma.
I missed something.
What is this? All right, let me
Right.
explain to y'all what this is. As I told you at your last meeting, we thought we were going to have this bond resolution ready to go tonight. There's been some last-minute details that we've had to work out with Kroger, and as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon, we're still working on those. One of the problems and one of the requirements we have to meet is because the county agreed to use, they passed a resolution last year, I think November of last year, agreeing to use their portion of the tax on the real property within the CAD District Number 2, going towards the increment, the positive tax increment. They have to have an intergovernmental contract with the city for the life of the bonds. What we've tried to work out on this, and I had attached to this number 19 a amortization schedule, which actually will also, the same amortization schedule will be attached to your item number 20 now, which is the intergovernmental contract between the city and the county. And under this, the county is pledging their portion of the tax increment to be paid by the tax commissioner when she collects it. It'll be paid to the city, and in turn, we will take their portion together with our portion and promptly pay it over to the bond trustee. Now, I think realistically that even though we're going to issue these bonds for a period of 25 years, we're amortizing or capitalizing the interest in the first 2 years, which gives us the chance to collect 1 full year of taxes on the completed Kroger project. So we'll have that money in hand the 1st of January 2014. So 2014 will technically become year 1 of repayment. So really you've got right now a total of 26 years and a quarter, it looks like. We're trying to issue these bonds by October 1st. So they're really a little bit longer than 25 years, but we had to do that in order to get the money in hand. During this period, the positive tax increment, that'll be from both city and county taxes, not be sufficient to make the current bond payment when it comes due in these future years, the bond trustee, by law, has the authority to re-amortize the debt so long as it doesn't extend out beyond the full 30-year period. So what you would have is a new amortization schedule. And what this agreement does is the county is acknowledging that we've made that disclosure to them. They're willing to put up their money, their tax portion of the taxes from the TAD district. And they've got this agreement on their agenda for next Monday night, on the 20th, I believe it is. So we wanted to go ahead and let you have it tonight, approve it, so you can sign it and send over signed copies ready for them on Monday. Then we'll come back to you at your next meeting on the 28th with the bond resolution. We have gotten the amount down. You know, initially we were talking about a bond somewhere around 1.425 million, somewhere in that range, but it looks like the maximum we're going to be able to issue is the $866,397.
If their asset depreciates, instead of it being a $6.2 million project, the assessor's office reevaluate, brings it down to $3 million in 10 years. The other projects that are in that district, would those projects then have to be used to fund
other funds from the district? Yes.
Other funds.
Yes.
So
the repayment is going to be the positive tax increment of the district, not just of the Kroger project itself, but of the district. Now, we've had this CAD in place for 2 years. It's generated about $9,000 in 2010, about $9,400, I think it was last year, 2011. So we expect it to come in this year about another 9.5, somewhere in that range.
and staff is comfortable that the total revenue produced based on the current millage rate and the proposed value of this property will be enough to cover this debt service.
We've looked at it, we've evaluated it. Of course, like with anything else, where you're going out this far in time, you have to make assumptions, and there's a growth assumption in here of 2% a year, which I think maybe as you get further out, may be on the high side if the economy doesn't pick back up quickly, but you know, if it doesn't, we have to re-amortize it. It's that simple. And if there ultimately, at the end of 30 years, are not sufficient funds to repay these bonds, Kroger takes the hit. They take the loss.
No loss to the city.
No loss to the city. No other city funding is involved in any other way.
Okay, Madam
City
Chair.
or county funding.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the intergovernmental agreement as presented.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion?
What, can I, because I missed that first session, that last one, what was the reason for the large decrease in the value of the project?
When Kroger first came to us in sometime last year, I'll say in the mid part of last year, they represented that they were going to put approximately a $17 million investment.
Yeah, I know what the bond decrease is in
when
proportion.
we started getting, you know, into meetings with them over the fall, that number started coming down some, and it got down to the range of this spring being they estimated a $10 to $12 million cost to build their improvements, whatnot. For ad valorem tax purposes, though, the law has an assessment method that's built into it that the tax assessor has to follow. And there's two different divisions of Kroger. One's the Property Acquisition and Site Development Division, who primarily we have worked with. The other is the Property Management Division, who we really had no contact with, but who came in back in, I believe, June, met with the tax assessors, showed them what they were doing, and under the this bulk appraisal method that the county has to use for tax appraisals, the appraised value of the improvements only came out at approximately $6.5 million.
Okay.
So
the design that we already
it costs
saw,
more to build something than it may be worth for tax purposes.
Okay.
You know, so that's really the bottom line.
All right.
But for purposes of this, we have to have the positive tax increment.
Right.
We know what the base was. It's the 2009 digest value of this property. So that becomes the base. So anything that's put on it that improves that value, which it will have, it's going to go from about I think it was $180,000 base valuation of the raw land to $6.5 million. So you're going to pick up about $6.2 million, let's say, 6.3 in new value. You'll tax that at 40%, and that, you know, the millage rate yields what taxes produce.
I just didn't know if anything changed with the design that we had seen
they're building what they said they're going to build.
Valuation go down. Okay.
In fact, they're building it fast. It's coming up quick out there.
It really is, it's going to be nice.
Okay, all in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Okay. City manager, you have anything?
Yes, ma'am. I have a couple of comments. Our branding program and wayfinding program's coming along real good on the 29th at 8 o'clock. Should have some final artwork and signage ready, so if you're interested in that. We've had some discussions with the Chamber of Commerce and the Main Street program about the Christmas parade. We talked about having the Christmas parade and the downtown lighting and all the Christmas festivities at the same time. So you get a crowd, you get it downtown, and you do it all at once and maybe have a bigger crowd. The only problem with that is our ordinance doesn't allow a night parade, and it specifies what days you can have a parade on and what times. Like we have an ordinance that allows parades on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 9:30 till 11 a.m. and 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. So I kind of wanted to get some feedback on whether you would consider some type of variance or allowing the chamber in a particular circumstance to have a Christmas parade at night and blending all that in with the lighting of downtown and all that. Just wanted to get...
You probably have to do an amendment, not a variance, and I don't think you want to put a discretionary provision in your ordinance. This ordinance was designed, it was adopted several years ago and designed to regulate under the First Amendment certain situations that occurred in other communities with parades.
Currently, the parade's on
And
Saturday or
I wanted to leave you out of it and just ask them to make an exception.
Could we
make an exception to the...
Sunday.
Could we move the downtown, the tree lighting to that Sunday evening, possibly? Where
Well, you can't light the tree before 4:30 because it's not dark.
by the time everybody gets off their floats and stuff, though, it's going to be
I have no problem amending the parade ordinance to have it later.
4, 5,
personally.
6.
It was on Sunday. You saying on Sunday?
It's always, the Christmas parade is always on a Sunday.
I mean, locking downtown Griffin on the first Thursday of the month is...
The 6th of December.
It shuts downtown down, and that's when Griffin is...
They tentatively want to have the parade
parades on Tuesdays and Thursdays are an absolute gridlock of downtown.
You're saying have it on Saturday, aren't you?
They want to have it Saturday, December the 1st, around 6:37 p.m., and then have the lighting of the tree immediately following that.
As long as it's not a Thursday night.
No, Saturday, December. But it would be an exception to the ordinance as it's currently written. But because they plan those things pretty much far in advance, I kind of wanted to give them the feeling of the commission as to which direction.
I don't have any problem with that.
Be great.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Also, another item, the FAA is requesting an endorsement of the aeronautical study, and hopefully you've got a copy of that at your place. They just need a document supporting the new landing area for the new airport, and they're requesting an endorsement from each elected official. So if you feel comfortable with that, I'd like for you to sign those and leave them for me, and I will get those to the right place. Brant told you about the golf course. They're requesting your presence Friday afternoon at 3 if you can be there, not only to tour and take a look at the greens, but I think they want to express a little appreciation for your support in that project.
Can I come anyway?
Is it the 17th or 18th?
It's Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock, whatever date that
That's
is.
the 17th. The 18th, okay.
Yeah, and the golf course should be open for play on Saturday, so.
And what time on,
Sneak
is
preview.
that Friday?
3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got 124 people online bill pay with their utility bills, and we've got 12 that have went all the way to e-billing. So 12 people are getting their bills online now. And finally, the retreat, Madam Chairman, if you want to discuss that, I've got some tentative arrangements at Callaway for September the 19th and September the 20th, so I kind of need some direction as to where to go to get Callaway reserved, if that's what you'd like to do.
If we're gonna have a retreat, all of us need to, as a board of commissioners, need to try to be there. So, before Kenny make the arrangements, we need to know if that's something that y'all can live with or you can work with.
It's gonna be tough for the September. I mean, is there any way we can have this thing here and make it easier? But some of us work. I only get 3 personal days, and I got to use some of them for a wedding, so it makes it tough. When we start curving out days like that.
Who's getting married?
That's brother-in-law.
Oh. I thought maybe it was
What day
Chris.
of the week is that?
Like Wednesday and Thursday?
It's a Wednesday afternoon. And Thursday morning. I had it scheduled for Callaway to begin at Callaway at 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon and then wrap up at lunch on following Thursday. But I need about 30 days notice to book it if we're gonna do it.
Can I answer this tomorrow?
It's going to be tough for me, but I'm going to be down there for a retreat on the 13th and 14th, and then I leave on the 22nd to go to Cape Cod for a vacation for 8 days.
That's where we go, Cape Cod.
Well, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, if it's gonna be inconvenient, there's no need for it to do a retreat if you got 4 people, 3 people.
I agree. I would work this in if possible. I mean,
I'm good.
I very much want to do a retreat. I mean, I think it's a great idea. That it's just tough being stuck in the middle of the week like that at a location away. If there's any way to do, or even, and this just gets off me. I think we have days in fall break for in October, but I didn't know how long you wanted to wait to do this. If you need it to be in September, or if you're looking more towards, or if it matters.
Well, by tomorrow, you said you need to at least 30 days in advance. If you can't get.
I mean, I don't need to know now. I just thought since you were all here, it would be a good time to discuss it and kind of know which direction we're going in. My emails and individual discussions is kind of hard to get.
Full 1-day event, but it's
kind of hard to get an
I
answer.
can accommodate 2 days. That's what you would like to do.
Yeah, and I would like to have, and that's why we broke it up so that it wouldn't be 2 full days. But like I said, there's no need to do a retreat if the commissioners are not there. That's the purpose of having a retreat, so that all the commissioners can retreat and meet together. So,
Is it Saturday, decent?
He's checking to see where fall break is.
And that's the middle of the fair. So
Yeah.
I'm there every night, fair time.
Oh, that is during fair as well.
Hey,
Fall breaks the week
Harry
of
didn't want to go to Cape Cod,
October
so I'll
8th.
take somebody else. He says, I'll go.
All right, can we let you know tomorrow, think this over?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all I have, Madam Chairman.
Okay, you have a say, sir?
No, Kenny said I've talked enough.
Commissioner Leon?
No.
Commissioner Morrow?
I have a couple things, of course, we don't want to forget Elmer George, and the funeral is, visitation's tomorrow, and the funeral's Thursday, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir. Thursday at 2 o'clock is the funeral at First Baptist.
Really nice guy. Last night, we had our second airport authority meeting. We had a very productive meeting, and of course, with the failure of T-Splosh, the money for the new airport is not in sight at the moment. So we voted to move ahead with assuming control of the existing airport, transferring it to the airport authority's operation, and we have assigned task committees to start that work. So the new authority, I think, is going to work well, and we're on the way.
Didn't we also said that we would have a transition time?
Our target is by the end of the year.
Right.
And Joanne volunteered to accept the position of Secretary-Treasurer, so...
I really need to clarify that. I think, and I'm going to make sure this gets in a minute, I volunteered until such time as we had money, and then we could elect a Secretary-Treasurer. I think I volunteered to be the Secretary. Drew tells me that the position is Secretary-Treasurer, but people, don't worry, we don't have any money. So I can be the Treasurer for 4 months.
Good.
I just congratulate Chief Tommy Jones. I know it's hard to sum up in that brief amount of time what 25 years has meant to the city, but I think at the same time everybody already recognized how valuable he is. But that's excellent that once again we've got these people that stick around this long. You know, we have so many people like that. It's amazing. But appreciate him.
I would also like to congratulate Tommy. Tommy's been a very hard worker, and he has set goals for himself, set goals for his department, and he leads by example, and that's something that all of us can be very proud of. I think that we have an excellent staff. Tommy's just one of the many department heads that we have that bring honor to us and an efficient city government.
Amen.
And also, I hope that people will remember Elmer's service to this community. Elmer George was an outstanding person, statewide, countywide, citywide. I've often referred to him as the father of municipal government because he truly is. He set the standard when he was head of Georgia Municipal Association, which is where we owe our life. Cities and municipalities, this is our governing board that we are all members of. And then Elmer stepped in here in the late 50s and 60s to assume the role of city manager. He never lost his zeal for politics. He never lost his zeal for city government. And I always laughed about that because he lived in the county. But he loved city government.
Thank you. I don't have any comments.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, let me know by show of hands.
You got it.
All right.